Space, 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 space. Does it get any better than this? 3 in 1. Let's get into it, folks. Greetings, folks. Welcome back to the channel, The Brick Sweethearts. We are back once again looking at space in the LEGO City theme, and this time we have set 60441, the Space Explorers pack. Now, you see that right, it is in fact 3 sets that have been combined into kind of one little mega pack, which we do have the ship, we have some sort of construction mech, which seems to have a new engineer kind of minifig, and of course, I believe this was a polybag, and as you know, polybags aren't the easiest to get in Ireland. They sometimes appear at our local bookstore called Eason's, but not always. So not like every single one that gets released. Some of them never show up, and I kind of wanted my hands to get this one just because it looks quite nice, but unfortunately there was no way for me to get it until now, since it got added to this kind of 3-in-1 super pack. For those of you who are curious, make sure to subscribe and then check down below. I should have the LEGO Space playlist, which we do have, I'd say 4 videos by now, or maybe this might be the 4th one. I am really into the theme overall, and the refresh that it got in 2024, it's made it more sleek, more futuristic looking, and there's something about the color combinations that has really caught my eye. I've been getting my hands on as many of the sets that I can. I still have a few more that I need to collect, but then I saw that they released this Space Super Pack, so I wanted to get my hands on it. And we do have videos for each of the previous ones that we've done, and of course when we build more we will be adding those to the playlist. And if you're a big space fan like I am, make sure to check out each of those videos, give them a like, it really helps us out. For now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and get building. I'm really looking forward to the actual ship itself. I've watched some reviews myself. It has an interesting engine piece at the back that opens up and has a nice little play feature, so I'm very looking forward to building it, bringing it to my collection, and of course hopefully sometime in the future I'll get some base plates, make a little diorama, some sort of asteroid or a planet of some kind, and I really want to make it, bring it to life with this set. Have my little science lab, have the rover that I got, and these ships kind of flying around, maybe landing somewhere, etc. So stay tuned. It's a rough plan in my mind. It's somewhat similar to the one that I saw at BrickCon. Again, check down below. I'll link it there. It was a nice diorama that someone had made. I don't think they actually put their name around it, and I don't think I saw them there, so I'm not actually sure who made it. You might be able to, figure that out, or maybe they'll have commented on the Dublin BrickCon that, they are the one that made the space diorama. So that's kind of like what I have in mind of hopefully where this theme will go. But for now, let me open this up, tear it apart, and get building. And we'll see how that process is, and I'll give you my thoughts afterwards. And here we are, folks, with 3 build sets. It was a fairly quick and straightforward process, so I'll try and go through how each one of them went, but something like this is not going to take too long. One of the main things that I kind of really want to reiterate about the space theme, it's the visual aesthetics that they've managed to implement. I really like the color combination. Now, although I have a hard time with colors sometimes, it's one of those things where certain colors don't look the same to me as it might to you, but I am a real big fan of the black, white, the orange accents, and this teal, aqua green, whatever it might be. It looks great to me. I know there was a previous space theme, I think from 2023 backwards. It looked, from what I saw on the LEGO site itself, it looked like something more realistic based, that's kind of more akin to the space technology that we have, the modules from the International Space Stations, etc. I believe that was kind of more themed in that direction, while this new refresh and this new rebuild, it is definitely more sleek. There's not as many clunky parts from what I've seen. It definitely has a bit more rounded edges, a bit more spikiness to it, especially in this scenario, and the aesthetics are definitely more futuristic, as we do have the crystals that have turned into these batteries, which then power up the the vehicles themselves. Now the overall build, super quick. Let's start off with the hover bike. It's a poly bag. It literally took what, a minute max. You could probably do a speed run with this. Fairly straightforward, but I do like the engine design. It kind of gives me the vibe from the Star Wars Phantom Menace, where we had the pod racers. For some reason it reminds me of one of them. I can't remember which one, but it has that that same profile, except obviously those were much bigger. And we get a blue pilot this time. So I do believe that the purple pilot that we've seen before, I think they might be like a leader pilot or like a hero type pilot, since we do get them in the big ship here, while this one I believe is just a normal pilot. Maybe I'm getting this all wrong. I'm having a bit of a tough time when it comes to figuring out which one of them. I know the yellow guy in the middle, he's the engineer. I believe the ones that are green are the scientists, and then the ones that are blue are the pilots, and then the purple one has to be like the leader pilot, or like, a captain or some sort of hero pilot. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know if they actually put it anywhere like on the boxes, or if they've like told us what they are. So if you do know, make sure to drop me a comment down below what exactly the different colors. Obviously the yellow guy has to be the engineer, since yeah, he definitely looks like it. So hover bike, fairly straightforward. We get a pilot, battery pack right there. Nice little addition. I kind of would like to have maybe one or two more of these and have like a little squad of 3 just flying around the base. Maybe getting some of those clear pieces and finding ways to actually make them float around the base. I think that would actually be pretty cool. So if I happen to see 2 more of them, again, I'm probably gonna have to try and find them at a convention. I don't really want to go online to pick up the polybags, as they're probably, although the polybag itself might, be the same price as you would normally get it, it'll probably cost to get it delivered. So we'll see. Nice little addition. Maybe get 2 more, float them around the base. Very cool. Put them to the side here. The next build, I believe it's called the construction mech. We get, before we go into the mech, nice little crystalline thing here. 2 more crystals that will be transformed into the actual energy. And then we have this nice little robot, little companion to help out with the construction. Well, I guess in this case it's to help out breaking the rocks apart and finding the crystals. It kind of reminds me of WALL-E, the way it is constructed. It's not like exactly like him, but it definitely gives off those vibes. And he comes with his own little battery pack to make sure that he can, be charged up. And then we have the actual construction mech itself. Visually, it reminds me of the construction mech or the forklift mech that you see in the Alien movie, where Ripley is inside the mech fighting the Xenomorph Queen. So it has similar vibes to that, how the pilot is put inside. And if we just lift that up, similar concept where it's not like it's an actual robot, but it is a mech suit. So what that means is that this little railing thing goes up and your engineer pops in, who is definitely different from the other minifigs. A nice little construction looking helmet, and we do get these 4 studs on the back, which I'm assuming that you can add some sort of other equipment. Maybe you can get some pieces to make like an arm, like an extra robotic arm that you might use to fix something. Or I think one of the other sets has like a little flying thing that can transform into an actual jetpack. So I'm assuming those little 4 studs on the back, that's what they're there for. Now the actual mech itself, on the back we have a dual power pack. Fairly straightforward, brick built with a few Technic pieces to create those connection joints. And then, importantly, we get this hammer piece. It's like an arm with a hammer on it. So like you bash into the rock, hopefully that will break it apart. While on this side, we have more of a grabbing one. Now, there's no way to like make a grab from the back, so it is one of those things that you have to fiddle with it from the front. But it's a kind of cool little thing. I'm assuming you could create a little scene similar to the 4+ set that we had previously reviewed, where you get your little mech and you can bash open the rocks, get the crystals off it, and then grab it with your claw and bring it back to your base. Fairly straightforward, not too complicated. Yes, there's a few Technic pieces, but it's not on the same scale, nor is it difficult with these Technic pieces. And it does give it a nice articulation in the joints, so you can move it around quite flexibly. That doesn't mean it's going to be able to stand up in every position, as there will be a there will be a point where it will start tipping over. So do make sure you're not putting it in too many funky positions. So overall, I think that the mech is a great little addition, and I'm kind of thinking that I might get 1 or 2 more, again, just to populate my space base and have a few more things walking about, collecting crystals, etc. So definitely like it. Let me just move it to the side so that we can bring forward the main feature of the space pack. And I think, if I'm being honest, this is what drew me to the overall theme, the actual spaceship here. The sleek design, the color combination, and of course this wonderful play feature where the actual battery, which is sitting on top, powering up the whole ship. If you decide to push it down, it opens up the back engine and kind of gives it that boost effect, that it's flying much quicker. So let me see. Hopefully, as you can see, the the engine is out here, but once you press that boost, off it goes into, I don't know, turbo drive or whatever else you might want to call it. And then it's just a quick, fold back the engine and the battery pack pops back up. It's a fairly basic concept and design. The fact that it's just, I would say it's in like an arrow shape. But personally, I think it just looks stunning. It kind of has that concept that when you think of a spaceship, something pops in your mind. Now obviously you might relate and say that, oh, something from Star Wars or something from Star Trek, something that you've seen. But if you get rid of the branded ones and you just think of a generic spaceship, I think this is what it pops up in my mind. This design, this sleek shape, that's kind of what I see in my mind. If I'm looking at, the generic spaceship, this would be it. And I think that they did a great design making it. We of course have a cockpit with the purple minifig. It is of course, as I said, the commander pilot, or maybe the hero pilot, who has a star tattoo on the side of their head, and they're leading this spaceship, which makes a lot of sense, since I think it's kind of one of the main highlights of the new theme. Makes sense that they're there. And we also get these two interesting flaps. I would suspect that they are for creating like a drag effect so that you're able to brake the ship when you're flying around. I believe that that's what they are. Although they could also be used to, I guess, air would rush. Although in space there isn't any air. So again, I'm not entirely sure. But normally these are kind of like some sort of flap to help either maneuvering or helping to brake a plane when it's flying about. The overall build for this ship, again, was fairly straightforward. There's nothing too complicated, but the actual mechanism that was used for the engine itself was very satisfying to see come together. It's nothing too major. It is like the battery pack pushes it down, and then there's this rod that kind of helps push the engine apart. It's again, a straightforward enough mechanism, yet it has such a satisfying result because visually and play feature wise, it makes it seem that, oh, I press the big red button on the spaceship and all of a sudden I'm going super fast. That translates really well into this small ship. And of course, when you're going around, flying around, playing in your house, and you're like, time to boost, boom, off you go. Kids are going to love that little feature. And it seems like I kind of broke off a tiny bit of the battery pack. Nothing too major, it's just the little sticker piece on top that I don't actually think it's a sticker. I believe that's actually a printed piece where it has the battery symbol. Overall, I had a lot of fun creating these small little sets. They definitely add something extra to the space theme, and I think it's going to bring your base to life if you add them around. They also kind of made it more economical to buy the super pack, since this alone would have been 20, this would have been 10. The super pack itself is 30, so you're technically getting the polybag for free, which isn't too bad. I mean, the polybag, I think it's around a 4 or a 5, so it's not like it's an expensive thing. But if you were planning on getting the mech and the ship anyway, it kind of makes sense to get the super pack, since you will get that extra bit of Lego which you wouldn't have if you were buying them separate. So I would definitely recommend that if you're looking for like a present to give to your kids or to a friend who's really into space, this would definitely kind of be the main thing that I would say to go get. It's a nice combination, and they get 3 things at once, so they're able to have a few more things to play with for the kids, and of course make sure that if they're building their own space themed base, that they have all these like little additions to make it more living in a sense. I hope you enjoyed this video. Drop your comments down below. What do you think of the super pack? I had a lot of fun building. I think visually and aesthetically they are great little sets. I definitely can't wait to add them to my collection, and once I start building that mock in my mind about the space base, it will definitely look super cool. Make sure to give us a like, it really helps us out. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be making a Lego space themed playlist where all of these videos will be combined, so that if you really want to only watch space stuff, that's where you go. So check out those. I'll hopefully have it linked down below. We will definitely be getting more sets in this theme. I'm not entirely sure when, but I think I have my eyes on the big commander rover next. I think that would be a nice little addition, and then eventually we will be getting the actual space station itself. Stay tuned, we will be bringing those videos soon. Not sure when, but keep an eye out. And then until next time, take care folks.